Hi everyone, this video gives you some information on how to use Google Scholar. Some of you might want to use this in addition to your research with the MCC library databases. Let me stress in addition to. This using Google Scholar should not replace using the MCC library databases. Also, you want to make sure that you start with the library databases because Google Scholar can sometimes overlap with the library databases, but because it's Google and not the library who pays large subscription fees to access information, you may not have 100% access like you do at the library. Okay, that said, let's get started. I'm on Google. I'm going to type in Google Scholar, and here I am. Scholar.google.com is the website that you want to go to, or type in Google Scholar on your search engine. I am going to, for my example, refer to an article that I recently read called Is College Worth It?, which deals with the question of whether or not investing in college will actually pay off financially in the future for all students. So in other words, if I invest money into paying for college, am I going to get a return on my investment such that I can pay off my college loan debt and live comfortably? So that's kind of the question that I might explore in a research essay. I'm going to look at college costs, and then I'm going to type in and. This is called a Boolean operator, the word and, or not. It tells Google that I want to find articles that deal with college costs and United States. So I'm going to look at college costs in the United States as opposed to Great Britain, as opposed to other places. I could, if I wanted to get really specific, put not Great Britain. So that would give Google further information. You don't have to be this detailed, and probably it's wiser not to be, but that's another, those are some ways that you can tackle this. I could look at college costs or college value, so that would indicate to Google that I'm looking at either the subject of college costs or the subject of college value and the location of the United States. So those are other ways that you can make your search a little more specific. I'm personally just going to stick with this. Click search. Now notice that I've gotten some rather bizarre sources. In other words, things that I'm not necessarily going to want to look at. But in any event, I have these here and I can start digging through them. This is about medicine, indigenous species, environment, Here we go. College choice in America. There's a book. I'm going to go ahead and click on that and see what we've got. Google Scholar does give you access to portions of books. In some cases, you'll have access to an entire book. It just really depends. More often than not, the books that you have access to will have copyrights that have expired, so they'll be much older books. I access a lot of books for my dissertation research this way that I couldn't get through the local libraries. If nothing more, it gives you a taste of what this book is all about, and then you can see if you can track it down another way. Now, doing that is far harder than using MCC's databases, and you're going to have more time to do that. So let me caution you, but just to show you that you might find information right here that is useful to you. So you may not have to go beyond this, but in any event, you get a small taste of what's going on here. And then depending, in some cases, you might get the whole book. It looks like here we do have the whole book. So in this case, we could jump to, while we jump to the conclusion, we could jump to college attendance versus college completion. We can look at that, etc. If I don't want to do all of this right now, I can add this book to my library. You would need to sign into Google to do that. You should be able to do that with your MCC account, I believe, unless you want to use your personal account. And then you can also try to track down this book if you are interested in doing that. You might find overlap between Google Scholar and what MCC has, in which case getting it through MCC will be easier for the most part because you will probably find it on the MCC database where you may not find it here on Google Scholar. You'll find information about it on Google Scholar, but sometimes you won't have access to the article. The other things that you can get on Google Scholar that might be maybe a little more difficult to find is sometimes you can find some research. I did a search recently where I found a government report, Probably you could find that on, excuse me, MCC as well, but they might be a little bit easier to find on Google Scholar. In any event, let me encourage you to start with MCC's databases, because really more often than not, they're going to be far, far easier to use, and quicker for you. But if you feel like you're not getting what you want, or you want to keep digging, Google Scholar is there to use as well. And it might be good to know about for other classes that you're taking at MCC or elsewhere. If you have any questions about Google Scholar or using the library databases, please let me know. Thank you.